Hey there, I'm so sorry my videos have been so far and in between. Things have been kind of rough, I'm sure, for everyone. So much has changed with this pandemic. Work, finances, quarantine time, unable to see friends and family. It all really sucks. But yeah, so we've had many interruptions and delays in recent months. And okay, so just days after my last video, we had a total hit to our emotions. Our little Zelda took a turn for the worse. Just 2 days before, she was out in the backyard, guarding the patio and the house, giving the stink eye to the squirrels. Like cats are incredible. Sometimes they could be really sick, but you're not really aware of it until they're too sick. Anyways, we called the emergency vet and they took her in right away. And it was a few hours later, we got a call and it was bad news. Her condition had worsened and the doctor had asked us to come in and say our goodbyes. We got Zelda as a kitten early 2006. She was wild, and at first I was like hesitant. Did I make a mistake with this kitten? I mean, I've had a lot of cats, and she would jump on people when they came in the door. Literally, she'd be up high somewhere and she'd jump down on their shoulder. She was wacky. She was a very curious cat. She had to see what everything was about, and was keen on knocking things over and that kind of stuff. But she loved her alone time, and she would give her cuddles out sparingly. If you got cuddles from Zelda, you were very privileged. She wasn't always friendly, but she was very intelligent cat, and we adored her. She actually liked music, and in particular a song that Nafe would whistle. Nafe used to whistle the song from Titanic, and she would come no matter where she was in the house. If she was sleeping, if she was busy doing something, if she was eating, she would stop whatever she was doing and she would come to Nafe, and she would sort of give a kiss to everyone in the room. It was very bizarre. She'd been doing it since she was very little. We got to the vet and they brought Zelda into the room, and she looked so fragile. She was all curled up in a small box, and she registered that we were there with her, but it was faint. Nafe picked her up and put her in his arms, and I hugged them both, and we sort of rocked gently with her, and he whistled the Titanic song to her. And as soon as he started to whistle, she sort of moved her head up towards him and was just staring into his eyes. It was truly heartbreaking, but we tried our best to remain strong. And I reassured her, I caressed her and tummy and held her little toes and feet and rubbed her and told her she was okay and that we loved her and that she was going to be coming home soon. And it was just so difficult. Our hearts were just broken. She suddenly went limp, and we knew she was gone, and it was just awful. Later that day, we bundled Zelda up in a box, and we cuddled her up with her favorite little toy, her monkey. She used to carry that around everywhere. She loved that little toy, and she's had it ever since she was a kitten. And we cuddled her up in blankets, and we brought her up to my parents' place where they have a forest in the backyard, and we've laid down to rest several pets there, including pets that my parents had. And we dug a hole under a beautiful big pine tree where she could sit and watch the squirrels and the birds and get to enjoy some time running around with Rocky, Max, and Buddy. They were pets that she knew. and we felt good that she was in a good place. We weren't the same for weeks afterwards. We had a really tough time getting over Zelda. Well, we're not over Zelda. We're just, getting back to a semi-normal life, if you can call it that, during a pandemic. But we are better now, and we're happy and strong, and we're ready to move forward. And we have Zelda sitting in a frame here, and we see her every morning when we start work, and she's in our hearts, and that's little sweet face every day we see her, and we just remember her fondly. It's difficult to have that goodbye, when you have a pet that you love so much, but they bring so much joy to your life that even though you have to say goodbye at some point, it's all worth it. Hey, sweet girl.